Everyone wants to be enemies, never friends. When will this fake ass shit come to an end? My intentions are pure, but yet and still I endure people coming up against me. More so in spirit first before its physical manifestations. I guess when they say my light irritates your demons, it leaves no room for interpretations. I come in peace and never in war. But war is what is chosen as soon as I walk through the door. It's exhausting at times because I often try to show that I have no hate behind these eyes. No fear either because I don't have it in my heart. People show me that green eyed monster, and it's always at the start of getting to know me. But if you really wanted to, you wouldn't see me as a threat or even a foe to you. That line in The Color Purple says, all my life I had to fight, even with people whom I thought our bond was tight. So I stay at it alone, but never am I lonely. I am my own friend, and my friend is only me, you see. I'm used to this. Because if my light from within makes you that uncomfortable, I don't want to wish that uncomfortability on anyone. Me trying or desiring to have friends anymore is done. Enjoy your life because I plan to. The enemy that you wanted me to be basically has always been you. At the end of the day, I will always stay true to me, Lady V. So, what's up, y'all? This your girl, Lady V, and this creative work was based off of me going throughout the course of my life, um, knowing that I had a lot of fake people around me. I had a lot of fake people who pretended to be my friend, pretended to like me, or was trying to gain off of me in some sort of way. Whether it was my essence, my energy, my resources, they all um, really never really had my back. They really showed me no loyalty. It was easy for them to turn on me and betray me. There's been times where I would be around people and I'm thinking we're cool and I'm actually enjoying their company and I'm hanging out with them and the next thing you know they start acting shady. They start getting around other people and now I'm the butt of the jokes and now you talking about me and telling all my business and spreading lies and gossiping. And then I got all these people who probably started to like me at some point. Now they're being turned against me due to people slandering my name. And, just I found out throughout the course of my spirit journey that that was a form of witchcraft. People who gossip about you or slander you, they are pretty much speaking death over your life. They're speaking ill against you to make people look at you different, to manipulate people's minds to see you as the enemy. And these are people I've never done anything to. I always thought we were cool, but you know, I was just one of those people who folks always wanted to wage spiritual warfare on. And I innocently or maybe gullibly am walking around this world thinking, I'm a good hearted person and I'm not here to hurt anyone or do anything wrong. I'm here to help people. I'm here to uplift. And meanwhile, people are plotting on me, you know, wishing on my downfall. Um, I've had so many people who acted one way in front of me and then turn around and behind my back and be a different way with other people. And I had to learn a very hard lesson with that because and the thing about me was I always forgave these people. I mean, because it would come out, it would be known that they did these things, Instead of me looking at them through the eyes of a Judas, I always was like, what would Jesus do? When I was in Christianity and I thought like that, I was like, I forgive them. I was very forgiving back then because I saw people's potential. I didn't see what they was presenting me because, not realizing that a lot of them was projecting their hurt onto me. They were projecting the type of people that they were onto me. And here I am looking at them through the lens of, but I see you as such a good person. I know you're a good person. I know you can be one. But they're showing me nothing but the devil in disguise. And I lived like that for a very long time, you know, letting people over my house who would steal from me, you know, it was just I was just very naive, and I don't really fault myself for that because it's not my fault that I have a good heart and me believing or thinking that other people had the same type of heart that I had. I don't regret that because I came from a pure, genuine place. And it's not my fault that people didn't know how to handle that or didn't know how to match that energy or took my kindness for weakness or, whatever the case may be. This is why it was so imperative that I went on this spirit journey because it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot of times where maybe at the time I might not have saw it or I saw it but I ignored it, and then years down the line as I'm reflecting on my life, I realize now why it had to happen, why it went that way. And I remember the many times that I knew I was being deceived, um, and I knew that I was being mistreated, but I would get a little voice in my head to tell me. I would be on alert. I would be paying attention. I would notice when it would change. But then I was told to play it through. Let's see how far they will go in betraying you. Let's see how far it would take for them to realize their mistake and have some remorse on what it is that they're doing to you. I used to be told to challenge people in that kind of way, not knowing that I was walking karma for a lot of people. When you do a chosen one wrong, when you do a person who has a good heart with good intentions wrong, and there's no reason for you to do it. There's nothing warranting you to do this person this way, but you're choosing to do it. And you know you're wrong, but you don't care because you're in your ego. Sometimes God will use people like myself to punish others. Because at that time, you made a conscious decision to mistreat someone who did nothing wrong to you. You know, I used to spare a lot of people from getting their karma because I used to still deal with them, and if I didn't, like, God would give me so many signs to leave these people alone after so many times. And when I didn't listen because I was not in tune to myself, or I would ignore my intuition, or whatever the case may be, and I would still deal with these people to the point where their karma that God was giving to them had to come on to me. I had to absorb some of that because I wasn't taking the heed to move out the way. Like, I was always told to leave people alone. Don't go around them. Don't answer their calls. Don't, give them any energy. And because their demons would rule them, they will ease themselves around with the fake apologies and the fake I'm sorries and the, fake pretend like I like you, just to continue to stab me in the back and betray me over and over and over again. And once I didn't take heed the first time or two, then now I got to get my ass whooped spiritually because I'm not leaving these people alone. It was like a stronghold, you know, and so I would be faced with some of the punishment that they would get. And, whatever ends up happening would, we go through it and that's the end of that. I remember this one time, there was this girl, and she used to, I forgot how I met her, but I think I met her sister first before I met her. And her sister introduced her to me, and we just became cool. She would come over my houses when my mama was staying with me when we was in South Bend, and I had got my first apartment. And she would come over there, and she would be all in me and my mama's face and pretending like she was cool with us and this, that, and the third. And then one day, I was across the street to one of my neighbor's house, and she was there with her boyfriend, and he had brought a friend. And the friend that she had that he brought that his her boyfriend brought over there, he was cute, and I met him, and he started liking me, and we trying to get to know each other and this and that. So at this particular time, the girl came over there because, like I said, we stayed in these one apartments, so everybody was always going through to each other's houses or whatever. So the girl came over there, and she saw the boy that was there, and she saw that me and the boy was in the back in the kitchen, and the lights were off and all this other stuff. And out of nowhere, I kid you not, this bitch, it was like a evil demonic spirit jumped inside her body, and she started flipping out on me. Now I'm all kind of bitches and hoes. Now she hope I catch AIDS. You know, she acting like she want to fight me, right in front of this boy. And I'm like, prior to that, we were cool as fuck. You just came from over my house a day or so ago, laughing and joking in me and my mama's face. And now because this nigga is over here and he happens to be nice looking and he's into me, now you hope I catch AIDS? Now you want to fight me? Now you acting all hostile and shit? And no sooner, and so I'm sitting there and I'm flabbergasted because I didn't know what to say because I was just as shocked as everybody that was in the fucking house. Because, like, why are you flipping out? Why are you even acting like that? The dude, he looking crazy because he like, what the fuck wrong with this bitch? And I didn't say nothing, and he didn't say nothing. So that was the end of that. And then she had the audacity about 10 minutes later to apologize. And I never saw that bitch again. After that, that was the last day I ever fucked with her. And I don't remember if I told my mom what she did or not, but those are the type of things that people would do to me. When it came to anybody, especially when it came to a man liking me, having any interest in me, saying anything that was of admiration for me, it was always a demon possessed Jezebel hoe bitch that would jump inside of these are shapeshifters. They would jump inside of these bitches' bodies and have them act a complete goddamn fool with trying to humiliate me, trying to make me look bad in front of these men. And back in the day, now mind you, I'm a humble person. I'm not as humbled as I used to be at that age, at that time. Now I'm so fed up with people that I'll be ready to fight motherfuckers today. But that's neither here nor there. But I would be just so stunned at the reactions and how they would act that I would be left totally speechless because I'm sitting up here because I know we were just giggling and laughing not too long ago. I know we were just on the verge of seeming like we were cool and everything was good between us. And now we're here to where you're flipping out on me and trying to make me look bad in front of this man. And I guess I wouldn't, I would be so stuck and stunned. I wouldn't defend myself. I wouldn't say anything. I would just, I guess, in humiliation, I would just be quiet. Because I'm now trying to piece it together to make it make sense because it didn't make sense at the time. And this is before, and I remember I wasn't in spirituality then. I was still a Christian. And, you know, still thinking about that part in the Bible where do unto others as you want them to do unto you. And, you know, all of these things. I wasn't yet associating the concept with a person having a demon in them or not, even though that will be my first thought. But I was just more into trying to find out why. Why are you doing this? Why are you acting this way? You know, I thought you were cool with me, and I guess me being so hurt, like, why would you do this to me? Like, what have I ever done for you to do me like this? And so, neither here nor there, that's kind of how I grew up from my early teens up until, I'll say, from age 18 on up until maybe my mid 30s is when a lot of that was happening to me. You know, just straight betrayal, and it was always females that had a problem with me. The men lusted after me. The men wanted to screw me because remember my uncle put the sex demon on me. And the girls had the Jezebel hoe in energy to where they were jealous and envious of my love life. So needless to say, I did not have good relationships with anyone and no good friendships, obviously, either with anyone. And so, for the majority of my young adult life, I just dealt with a lot of shape shifting, mask wearing ass, NPC, demon prone, narcissistic ass motherfucking people, you know, who pretended to like me but didn't. Who I ended up finding out later on they was trying to siphon my energy. A lot of them were vampires that was sucking the life out of me, coming and dumping all of their problems and issues onto me, and me being the person that I am, trying to help them and be there for them and be strong for them. And when I needed it, when it was my turn, when I was going through something, everybody disappeared and scattered like roaches. Nobody was there for me. Nobody helped me, you know. And so for a long time, I went through depression. I went through, I thought of suicide. I thought of all kind of stuff to take me out because it's like, why? Why should I be here when nobody likes me? I don't know why they don't like me, but they don't. And why should I be here anymore? Everybody always turns against me all the time, no matter if I'm nice to them. And I would feel so guilty about being mean or having an attitude, or I would feel guilty pretty much for standing up for myself. Now, because I had a lot of patience, I had a lot of patience. It's like I took a lot. You know what I'm saying? To the point where people probably thought I was a pushover. You know what I'm saying? It's just because I didn't like to fight. I didn't want to be in conflict. I didn't want to get riled up because the quiet ones, the people who are not prone to fighting, those are the most dangerous people in the world. And you want to use that danger for a good purpose, not for some stupid, inconsistent, insignificant bullshit as jealousy and envy. You know, I want to use that type of danger action if I'm fighting for my life. Not because a bitch don't like me because her man said that I was cute. Not because a bitch didn't like me because the dude that she probably used to mess with or thought was cute at some point now wants to talk to me. And so I was more afraid of the energy that I would be in to the point where I would black out and fuck a motherfucker up. And I'm like, this is not worth it. I'm too cute to be fighting. I'm too cute to be having pain afflicted on me because of jealousy and envy. You know, that's how I looked at life because I'm like, at one blink of an eye, I can fucking fuck you up so bad. Then I'm in jail. My life has been taken from me because you decided to let a demonic entity enter your body to attack me. And so I kept out of conflict by not saying anything. I let people talk their shit. I let people say what they wanted to say. But as long as a bitch did not put her hand on me, she could say whatever fuck she wanted to say out of her mouth. He could say whatever he wanted to say out of his mouth. But it's believed the times that I did fight, I beat motherfuckers up. But I don't want to do that. Like, what's the point? It's stupid. It doesn't make sense. You know, that's that hurt people shit. I don't have time. I'm too good for things like that. And so I stayed out of a lot of conflict because I had self control. I had self discipline on not jumping into my rah rah mode like everybody's so quick to do, you know. Now, did I still be around those people? Eventually, until I wasn't anymore. Did I still talk to those people? Probably for a little while longer before they end up disappearing. But yeah, that's the type of life that I lived growing up. And now that I'm older and I sit back and I think about all this stuff, you know, I had to forgive myself a lot for the things that I allowed to happen, that I didn't speak up for myself, that I didn't, put people in their place at the time. So it was just like, no matter where I went from the north to the south to the east to the west of the United States of America, and it was always the same thing happening to me. The same spirit, different bodies that just wanted to try me, test me, betray me, stab me in the back. It was a consistent thing until I chose to heal myself in 2015 and I said it was no more. So, yeah, um, and now I'm okay with not having friends. I don't give a fuck about having no damn friends. Fuck them. I'm my own damn friend. I don't give a damn about nobody wanting me or liking me or whatever. Fuck everybody at this point. I like me and love me and want me. And that's how I should have felt a long time ago. But, when you're the only child and you've grown into a family of dysfunction and you're trying to find out who you are and you're trying to get validation from others to show you that you're worth something and they show you that you're not worth anything, it takes a little while longer to come to the conclusion that you are your best friend, you are your only friend, and you are all you need. So, anyways, if you like this, please like, comment, subscribe, share, and um, I have another story on its way. So, stay tuned. and I'll talk to you soon. Peace out.